the need of the hour is to reorient and reorient quickly. Because the more this sector becomes relevant, the more the Chinese will block our entry into this sector. So, as I said, there are two parts. Rather, three parts. I've discussed two parts. One is the geography and the importance of this sector. I hope you understand that. Second is, what is the challenge now in changing our policy? Our policy is scientific, nobody cares about that. It is now an obsolete policy because everything is moving towards geopolitics, about military presence, about economic partnerships. At the same point of time, the problem is that now when we will reorient, we are in a way a little late because we have not secured any economic partnership, any exploration-based, you can say, contracts or any form of economic partnership in this sector per se with Russia. At the same point of time, Russia is now becoming more closer to the Chinese, and the Chinese and the Russian faction is always against the US. US has come closer to India, and therefore it creates a proper mess. So, see, some experts say that Russia is not happy with China. That is a separate issue altogether. But you should understand one thing, Nishan. At the end of the day, Russians need money for R&D and for their military development. That only the Chinese are pushing as of right now. How do you think that the Chinese are able to develop 5th generation, 6th generation fighters? They don't have the technology to develop, or we itself don't have the technology to develop a proper 5th generation turbine engine. They are taking that technology from the Russians and stuffing the Russians with money. Russia has been cornered because of the Ukrainian problem. India is a very important partner with regards to oil. However, when it comes to investment into the Russian sector, China is pouring a lot of money into that sector. As much as Russia would like it or not like it, yes, the fact that we have J-20, we have multiple 2nd generation, 5th generation fighters coming through, they all are taking the engines of existing Russian 4th or 4.5 generation fighters. So, the problem here is that as much as Russia would not like that, the way things are, China is a factor in this relationship. And China is a factor in the relationship with Pakistan also, which we'll discuss in the second topic. But I hope you understand that India is a little bit late in responding to this. We've been talking about scientific. People have been talking about the economic potential. We believe 40% of oil reserves of the world are still locked into this sector. So there's a very good chance that oil, natural gas reserves from this sector will be fully exploited by Russia. This is a lifeline to Russia in the larger geopolitics of things. But India needs to be proactive. We have to be proactive. Yes, we are investing in the eastern sector. We now need to invest in the northern sector. Peter, the problem is now when we will show interest, they already know why we are showing an interest. I hope you understand this point. Once you will become an IS officer, everybody is going to say that we knew that you are going to become an IS officer. But when you are now, as of right now, preparing, somebody has to believe in you. So the same way, now we know that we are going for the northern sector, but Russia also knows why we want to develop the north and not the east per se. Vladivostok, we have the Vladivostok Chennai sector in that regard. But now the problem is that Vladivostok is going to become more or less more important for the NSR, which is northern sea route towards the Atlantic, rather than coming towards Chennai. Because if it's coming towards Chennai, it is again going from the South China Sea, then going from the Straits of Malacca. So, in a way, now everybody understands the potential of this area. I hope you understand why these experts are UN cry right now. Reorientation is needed, reorientation is needed. The reorientation is needed because the timing matters. And the more Russia becomes cognizant and China becomes cognizant of the fact that this sector is extremely critical, the more it will become difficult for India to enter into this sector. Do you understand the problem statement? Because then we'll talk about the solution which this article wants to give you or the expert wants to give you. Yes, that is also true. That is also true. We still are